Breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
2 children killed in a crash, and a third was in the vehicle when this happened. What we're hearing led up to this crash in Fayetteville.
Our temperatures are starting to warm up, not as chilly as it was yesterday, but the humidity stays away for a few more days. I'll show you what it will feel like this afternoon.
And the Carolina Hurricanes play in Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final tonight. What they need to do to try to get a one-up over the Vegas Golden Knights. They fought hard in Game 1. Let's see if they'll fight even harder in Game 2. Hey, thanks for joining us here on WRAL News at 4:30 on this Thursday morning. I'm Chris Lovingood. Let's go ahead and swing over to weather because you may be tailgating today. I don't know. We'll go to Elizabeth Gardner to talk about what conditions will be like. Right now, though, it's cool outside, but still a little mugginess, I know, just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. It's not too bad out there. We'll take a look at what's happening here in downtown Raleigh. I love it. I'll show you, of course, a tour of our cameras, and so many places have their red lights turned on to support the Canes for tonight. It's 58 degrees. Our dew point is 48, so that is nice and comfortable. Really feeling good out there currently. It's 58 in Apex, 56 in Knightdale, 53 in Durham. Temperatures dipped into the upper 40s yesterday morning. It won't be quite as cool this morning, and you'll notice a difference in the temperature for tonight, too. Just like Game 1, Game 2, the gates open at 4 o'clock, but it'll be closer to 90 degrees, about 10 degrees warmer than it was on Tuesday. Big concert at 5:30. Temperatures will be in the upper 80s. It's Dan and Shay this time, another country duo. And then the doors to Lenovo open at 6:30 with 84 degrees. So it will be warmer, but not terribly humid. Make sure you take your water. They'll have the watch party, of course, that kicks off at around 8 o'clock. And we'll talk about building heat for the weekend in just a bit. Chris?
All right, sounds good. We'll come back to you in just a bit, Elizabeth. Well, we are following breaking news right now in Raleigh. One person was hit and killed while walking on Glenwood Avenue. Let's bring in Kelsey Coffey. She's been there on the site of this where this happened in the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. Kelsey, where are the investigators right now? I see it's very active behind you.
Yes, Chris, it is. This morning, part of Glenwood Avenue is closed after a person was hit and killed in a crash. So you can see just the heavy police presence here this morning. This is the intersection of Glenwood Avenue and Hilburn Drive. So crime scene tape surrounds part of this intersection right now. We're still working to find out what led up to this crash and whether police have found the driver. So we'll be sure to keep you updated as we find out new information. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
Another breaking story that we're following. 2 children are dead and a third child was seriously hurt in an overnight crash in Fayetteville. That happened on Cedar Creek Road near I-95. What you're seeing here is video from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. You can see that badly damaged car here on your screen. Investigators say the 2 children killed were both 10-year-olds or younger, in fact. Investigators are at the scene and they say that a third child was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. The driver also reportedly suffered injuries, but that person is expected to live. As for what led to this crash, that's not clear. Police say that section of Cedar Creek Road is still closed this morning. WRAL is trying to learn more after Wake County deputies say they found someone shot at an apartment complex. This happened on Fayetteville Road last night, and this is near Wake Tech's southern campus, if you know where that is. Deputies say witnesses were unsure, though, if someone was shot. But a man with a gunshot wound was eventually found in an apartment and taken to the hospital. He's expected to live. Deputies say that a person of interest has been found in this case. And we're also working to learn more about a person found shot in Durham. Officers found that person with a gunshot wound on Old Oxford Road. This was just north of Dearborn Drive. The map here will help illustrate that. We have reached out to Durham police to find out what exactly happened and how that victim's doing this morning. Well, this morning, the search for 2 inmates who escaped from the Vance County Detention Center is ongoing, and we want to give you a look at the 2 men that are being sought. A combined $40,000 reward is being offered for information leading to their capture, and this is where we bring in WRAL's Kirsten Clark. She joins us live outside the Vance County Detention Center. Kirsten, this is all happening days after concerns were raised about safety and security at the facility.
Yes, Chris. Deputies say both men escaped this facility around 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon and that they're now considered both armed and dangerous. But with all this barbed wire and other security measures that can be seen here, one of the big questions that remains this morning is how did they even escape in the first place? Now, take a look at this video from Sky 5 over a nearby scene yesterday where deputies were searching for 33-year-old Michael Miles and 21-year-old LaShawn Knott. They said both Both men were being held for multiple state drug trafficking and gun-related charges, and officials also say the two knew each other before they were arrested. The search for Miles and Knott has expanded into Wake County. Listen to this Broadcastify radio traffic detailing the alert to law enforcement.
Wake units, be advised of a jailbreak run of inmates from Vance County. It's going to be two black males heading towards the apartments on Young Street. Two possible suspect vehicles include an older model Chevy Tahoe, a black Ford pickup truck.
Yeah, so officials have asked people to lock their car doors, their garages, their sheds, and to check any home camera footage for any clues. Coming up in the next half hour, we'll tell you the questions that we're asking Vance County law enforcement, as well as what we're hearing from a woman who reached out to jail officials just last week with security concerns. Live in Henderson, Kirsten Clark, WRAL News.
Yeah, we'll certainly want to hear what that woman has to say. Thank you, Kirsten. Folks, you can stay on top of the search for those two inmates by pulling out your phone and downloading the WRAL News app. Oh, and make sure you turn on your push notifications. That way you can know the minute they're caught. All right, so tonight, the Carolina Hurricanes, they are looking to tie up the Stanley Cup final before hitting the road this weekend. They lost 5-4 to the Vegas Golden Knights Tuesday night. It was a tough loss, but it's not like they just gave it up. They fought hard. WRAL's Ali Kadlabar is live at Lenovo Center this morning. And Ali, Caniacs, they're kind of hoping for a big comeback.
Oh, yeah, we're expecting them to show up in a big way tonight, hoping that this game will bring them one step closer to being Stanley Cup champions. Remember, this is a dream, 20 years in the making. We're expecting another packed watch party outside Lenovo and then tons of fans packing inside as well. But this time fans are hoping the Canes skate away with a win. The Vegas Golden Knights won in the last period Tuesday night, 5-4. Tonight is the last time Canes will play on home ice before they head to Vegas for games 3 and 4. Fans tell us they see the cities around the triangle showing support.
Everyone cares about the Canes around here. It doesn't matter if you don't care about hockey or not. Like, the Canes are a part of the culture here, and I think that's what makes the Canes so special.
Yeah, puck drops tonight at 8 o'clock here at Lenovo Center. Again, this is for Game 2. WRAL is going to have team coverage before and after the game. We're about to head inside Lenovo Center to check out the energy there. Reporting live at Lenovo Center, Ali Kadlabar, WRAL News.
Well, more free live music will be outside Lenovo Center ahead of Game 2 tonight. Grammy Award-winning country music duo Dan and Shay will headline that concert. It's happening on South Plaza at 5:30. Anyone can attend this, and a watch party will follow for fans not heading inside Lenovo Center. And as the Canes look to turn things around for Game 2, you can count on WRAL to have you covered every step of the way. WRAL's Michelle McConaughey will be live from Lenovo Center throughout our evening and afternoon newscasts. So look for live team coverage today and, of course, throughout the entire Stanley Cup final. Then, after the game, turn to WRAL for rapid reaction highlights and analysis, plus hear from Caniacs and players on air and online. Well, today we will get an update on the priorities and the challenges for the city of Raleigh and Wake County. Mayor Janet Cowell and Wake County Commissioners Chair Don Mile and will, of course, be speaking at the State of the County and the City and County luncheon today. The Greater Raleigh Chamber of Commerce hosts that annual event. Of course, though, we'll be watching to see that because there will be someone moderating a Q&A with city and county leaders. It starts at 11:30 today at Briar Creek Country Club. You can watch a live stream of that discussion on WRAL.com. And tonight, the Chapel Hill Carrboro City School Board is expecting to discuss and make a decision regarding school closures. School leaders will be having a narrow list of possible schools to be closed down. They've got it down to 3: Ephesus Elementary, Glenwood, and Sewell Elementary schools. The board says the students of the closed school will be reassigned by this fall, and the school board says the closure is due to dropping enrollment and budget pressures. At a hearing in March, parents said they're not convinced, though, that closing any school would solve the long-term issue. Tonight's meeting is at 6 p.m. Now, this is not the only district closing a school this year. Last month, the Cumberland County School Board voted to close J.W. Kuhn and Manchester Elementary schools. Students will be reassigned next year. The school board has not yet, though, shared where those students will go. Granville and Vance County are also closing schools due to budget pressures and declining enrollment. Over in Raleigh, a man was arrested after stabbing 2 people on Clear Skyview Circle, according to investigators. Felipe Soto is charged with attempted first-degree murder, attempted robbery with a weapon, and 2 counts of assault with a deadly weapon. This happened Sunday around 2 a.m., and Wake County deputies say the 2 men went to the hospital with serious injuries, but no word on their conditions this morning. Well, it's the facility that Duke Energy says helps to restore your power quickly during a storm. The utility company gave a behind-the-scenes tour of its distribution control center in Raleigh yesterday. The 24/7 building coordinates utility crews and outage responses. And Monday marked the start of hurricane season, you may recall. Teams say they are preparing for more demand during this time.
This storm season coming up, we do know we will have a lot more outages and faults and trees, lines down, that sort of thing. So we try and get prepared for those outages and for those events before they happen.
The facility also manages Duke Energy's self-healing technology, which can automatically reroute power during an outage and restore service faster. The company says the tech helped avoid more than 1 million customer outages last year. Your time right now on the clock, 4:40. Anti-weaponization fund limbo. President Trump's $1.8 billion is on hold. What he has been saying about that process, plus data center decisions. The State House approved a bill putting guardrails on computer facilities. The next steps for that legislation, we'll walk you through it.
And our current weather maker right here, keeping things nice and dry and less humid, but not for long. I'll show you where that high is going and how it will change the way it feels this weekend. 444, we have the top of the tower lit in blue this morning. Skies are clear. It's a comfortable start out there. And everybody, even if you're not headed to the game, there's just so much excitement around Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final. And look at this. Franklinton all lit up in red for the Canes this morning. Looking good out there. 58 in Raleigh. It's 50 in Roanoke Rapids, 56 in Goldsboro, and 62 in Fayetteville. Our temperatures are warmer than they were yesterday, but our humidity is still nice and low. Roxborough is checking in at 48, and we hit 48 yesterday morning in the Triangle. 53 right now in Holly Springs, 56 in Garner, and 54 in Rocky Mount. And these temperatures could drop a few more degrees, but it won't be as cool as it was yesterday. Mostly 50s this morning. At lunchtime, 81, and we're climbing to nearly 90 this afternoon. But we don't see a big jump in the humidity. So yes, if you were at the Game 1 festivities versus today, it will definitely feel hotter. If you're headed out to the Lenovo Center, take along some water and some sunscreen.
Yeah, take some ice water with you. All right, thank you, Elizabeth. Well, there is uncertainty this morning over the future of the Trump administration's nearly $2 billion anti-weaponization fund. This week on Capitol Hill, Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche told lawmakers that the Department of Justice would not move forward with the fund. However, President Trump told a New York Post podcast that people, quote, should be reimbursed. The president was asked about the future of the $1.8 billion fund at the White House yesterday.
Just to clarify on what you were asked earlier, is the $1.8 billion DOJ fund dead or is it on hold?
It's, I'd have to ask the lawyers, I don't know. I know one thing, the weaponization. Are you talking about the weaponization fund?
Yeah, what's your decision?
The weaponization fund, as far as I'm concerned, was a beautiful thing.
Now, the fund is not necessarily dead from a legal perspective. A federal court has blocked steps to establish it while a lawsuit to kill it is under review. Now, the so-called anti-weaponization fund is getting pushback from some Republicans on Capitol Hill. In fact, some GOP senators want explicit language making sure the fund does not exist, including in the new ICE funding bill. Now, we know that the $70 billion package advanced along party lines yesterday, and that opens the bill up for debate on the Senate floor today. Republicans are hoping to get the bill to the president's desk at some point this week. A new bill that cracks down on data centers is one step closer to becoming law right here in North Carolina. The bill cleared the State House yesterday, sending it to the Senate. Now, if the bill becomes law, it will require very large data centers to pay more of the cost of the power and infrastructure needed to serve them. Backers of the bill say that it's meant to put guardrails around rapid growth and protect customers from higher electricity costs. Tech companies warn, though, that some rules could make North Carolina less competitive. Others argue, though, the proposal still doesn't go far enough. And state lawmakers have entered a new federal law that gives tax breaks to people who donate to educational scholarship programs. Now, it becomes law after the state Senate voted to override a veto by Governor Josh Stein yesterday. The governor said he had hoped to adopt the policy, but only after the federal government provided more guidance. Republicans say the vote is a win for school choice. Well, there's a popular state park that's back open after dealing with some issues. Chimney Rock State Park has been closed this week because of landslides. Now, you may recall all the damage that happened there after Helene. Obviously not great, but it took almost fully a year for this to reopen the park. The goats are back at Dix Park, and they will be cleaning up grassy areas along Rocky Branch Greenway. Leaders say that you can stop by and say hi, but make sure to stay back because they are contained with a low-voltage solar-powered electric fence. They anticipate the project will be done by tomorrow. I've seen those electric lawnmowers and stuff out there, but I don't think it beats the goats kind of doing their thing over at Dix Park, Elizabeth. But it's definitely cool to see them be useful there and kind of cleaning up some of the foliage.
Yeah, it's an eco-friendly way to do it. I love it. And, if you're headed over to Dix Park, to Gibson Play Plaza or to see the trolls, you can see the goats too. There's always something fun going on over there. Speaking of fun, boy, we have some downtown buildings lit up in red for the Canes game tonight. 58 is our temperature and our dew point is 48. That remains very low for this time of year. It's still unusual for us to have our dew point down in the 40s in early June. 52 in Durham, 56 in Garner, 53 in Wake Forest. So temperatures in the triangle are mostly in the low to mid 50s, and that's running about 5 to 7 degrees, maybe 8 degrees warmer than it was this time yesterday. So we'll feel that during the afternoon as well. We'll take a look at the big picture. This high pressure system rotating clockwise, when it was sitting farther to the north, it had a better chance to grab some of that cool, dry air to pull it down. But what's going to happen now is as it sinks southward, it gets closer to all the warmth and humidity down south. That's what it's going to grab a hold of and push in our direction. So temperatures will be hotter for today than they were for game one. Looking at the tailgating forecast for this evening at 5 o'clock, 89, and even at 7 o'clock, 84 degrees. So you can just be prepared for it. Hopefully you can bring along some shade, that sort of thing. Lots of festivities going on there with concert, of course, a watch party at the Lenovo Center, but there are watch parties all over. If you're headed to one of the watch parties outside, 8 p.m., 82, and by the end of the game, we're in the 70s, so it should feel nice and comfortable as we get past sunset. Watch what happens with our muggy meter. Here it goes. Sunday and Monday in particular, we're back up to steamy, so enjoy today, and that humidity will keep on climbing. It's going to be a hot weekend, highs in the low to mid 90s Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's likely that the warmer than normal temperatures will continue. We're sitting right there in that potential over the next 6 to 10 days for our temperatures to be warmer than normal. But we do have a break from some of the hotter temperatures over the weekend. Late Sunday into Monday, a front comes through and highs will be back into the 80s. I'll show you how much rain we could see coming up. Chris?
The air conditioners will be getting a workout this weekend. Thanks, Elizabeth. Well, from YouTube to theaters, an internet series is reaching its conclusion on the big screen. Early ticket sales for The Amazing Digital Circus. And behind the scenes, we're going to take you behind the curtain at DPAC, where the touring production of Hamilton is showing right now. Guten Morgen to our friends in North Hills and Raleigh. It's a pretty comfortable morning going out, although I still wore a light jacket personally. Things are definitely warming up later today, though, with things hitting near 89 in terms of a high. Well, new direct flights are coming to RDU. The airport announced that Bermuda Air will be offering flights to Turks and Caicos and Belize. They're going to run twice a week starting in December, and the flights will only be offered in the winter and spring months. Keep that in mind. Tickets go on sale starting tomorrow. All right, big news in the sports world. Former NC State football player Russell Wilson announced that he is retiring from the NFL. Wilson shared a video on social media about that decision last night, but he will not be leaving the football world because Wilson signed a contract with CBS as a sports analyst, starting this season. He played at NC State in 2008 to 2010 before transferring to Wisconsin. Well, a big YouTube series is making its appearance on the big screen, and a new documentary shows how tennis stars bond over cancer. David Daniels shares more about these new films in our Hollywood Minute.
Please, just now, we have nothing.
I don't know what's gonna happen.
The Amazing Digital Circus, The Last Act, is the latest YouTube sensation to hit the big screen. The series, about 6 people trying to connect while trapped in a virtual world, has racked up more than 1.3 billion views on YouTube. The Last Act sold more than $5 million worth of tickets the first weekend they were on sale. It's in theaters for 2 weeks beginning today before landing on YouTube.
In the beginning, it was fine for me to be friends with her because I was better than her.
That hurt. I knew that I needed to be more of a killer instinct.
Here's your first look at Chris and Martina, the final set, about how tennis legends Chris Evert and Martina Navratilova went from bitter rivals on the court to friends facing cancer diagnoses together. The documentary, which includes their treatment and recovery, debuts June 26th on Netflix. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Well, a behind-the-scenes look at one of Broadway's biggest hits taking center stage at Deepak. Hamilton is here, and they took WRAL backstage for a look at the costumes that help bring the story to life. The award-winning musical follows the rise of Alexander Hamilton, and it features a score blending hip-hop, jazz, R&B, and Broadway. Shows run through June 14th if you want to go, and tickets are available at dpacknc.com. Hamilton is part of the WRAL-sponsored Best of Broadway series. Your time on This Morning right now is 4:56. We're talking about a deadly crash in Raleigh. We know that a person was hit by a car on Glenwood Avenue, where the investigation stands at this moment. Plus, the search resumes today for 2 missing inmates. What Vance County officials are offering for information about 2 men on the run. And it's a cooler morning as we get a live look over Rocky Mountain Mills. But folks, it's not going to stay cool. Oh, it's going to get warmer. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner will show us how hot it's going to get today.